Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Let me make sure we are all set to go live. Okay, I think we are live. Hello, I see you in the comments. Thank you so much for spending some time to celebrate 13 years of Espresso English. It's so nice to see so many of you here. Okay, let me just be sure we are all set with the live stream. Awesome. Looks good. Oh, okay. All right. So while we are waiting for a few more students to join, to find out how long you have been following Espresso English. Let's see some of your answers in the chat or in the comments. Hello, good morning. Hi, thank you. I'm not sure when the exact birthday of Espresso English is for what day in May, but I know that it started in May of 2012, May 2012. Okay, so we have 6 years following Espresso English. Wow, that's awesome. That's just about half our time. Hello, good evening. Let's see, how long have you been following Espresso English? If you can remember when you first discovered my website or my YouTube channel, about 3 years, fantastic. Many years, all right, too many to remember. Let's see, 5 years, 2 years, just a few months, 6 months. Awesome. Good to see some longtime fans here and some newer folks as well. Okay, about 5 years. Fantastic. Hello. Good to see some Espresso English Academy students here too. Welcome, welcome. 2+ years. A few minutes ago. Well, I think you might be the newest follower and fan. Okay, great. Great to see you all. 4 years. Okay, I'm going to get started. Otherwise, I will be here enjoying your comments all day. So first, I just wanted to remind you that we are still running our birthday sale where you can save $13 on any course using the coupon code Happy Birthday in honor of our 13-year birthday or anniversary. And you can find the link to the birthday sale in the description, and all of the courses already have the coupon code applied. So it's actually really easy. That will end May 31st. Greetings, good morning. 3 years, 10 years. Okay, all right, let's jump in. I wanted to share with you the top 13 lessons from our blog, from our YouTube channel, from our Instagram. I'm just going to give you like a quick overview of the lessons. But if you want to learn more about any of the lessons in here, I am putting links to the full lessons in the video description. So if there's any area of grammar or vocabulary that you want to dive more into, you can click on the links in the video description. But let's get started with number 13. I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to do a countdown. Our top lesson number 13 is the one about turning 25 words into 100 words by learning their different forms. So as an example, we have the noun beauty and the adjective beautiful. We also have the verb beautify. That means to make something beautiful, okay? I remember once when I lived in an apartment with plain white walls, we painted some flowers on the walls to beautify them, to make them beautiful. And then we have the adverb beautifully, describing how something is done. She sings beautifully, right? And we have this, not every word has 4 forms like this. Some words only have 3 or fewer, but we do have other words like this one. Decision being the noun form, decide, that's the verb. Decisive is the adjective. That means someone who makes decisions easily and is strong and firm about their decisions. The opposite would be indecisive. That means someone who is not sure what to do, they can't make a decision. And then we have but decisive is like the strong and firm decisions, and then decisively being the adverb. One more I'll just run through, because a lot of English learners often mix this one up, is regarding success. Success is the noun form, succeed is the verb form. So sometimes you'll see students say, I want to success in English, but that's not right. I want to, we need the verb form. I want to succeed in learning English. Or sometimes people will say, congratulations on your successful. Well, that's not correct, because after your, which is a possessive, we need the noun. Congratulations on your success. So these little details about when to use each form of the word are important to make sure it sounds natural and doesn't sound strange. So we have success, the noun, succeed, the verb, successful, the adjective, and successfully, the adverb. I want to help you learn English successfully, and I am glad to see some course students and academy students here who are succeeding with the help of Espresso English. I want that to be true for all of you. So those were just a couple examples of these words with 4 forms. But again, if you want to see all 25 words and turn them into 100 words, you can click on the link in the description for that full lesson. It's a really easy way to expand your vocabulary by learning new forms of the words you already know. Okay, next lesson. If you just joined us, we are counting down. So I started with number 13. Now I'm on number 12. Top lesson number 12 has to do with extreme adjectives. Oh, that slide looks weird. Okay, so on the left side, we have the regular adjective, angry. And then on the right, angry. So funny is just normal. And then extremely funny is hilarious. Big, that's the normal adjective. Extremely big, we can say huge. Tired is the normal adjective, and extremely tired is exhausted. And then clean is a regular adjective, but the extreme form would be spotless. That's like perfectly clean. There's not a single spot or piece of dirt anywhere. So let me ask you a question. Can you think of some extreme adjectives for good and bad? Okay, so think about a word that means extremely good or extremely bad. I'm curious to see if there's several options for each one. I'm curious to see which ones you know without clicking on the link to check, just off the top of your head from memory. What extreme adjectives do you know? Okay, here's a good one for, oh man, my connection's a little slow. Magnificent, that's one for good. Extremely good, you can say magnificent. That usually means something that's like, well, I'm not going to say anything because that will give away more answers. We have another one for bad. You can just go ahead and type your answers in the chat. Sorry, my connection is being a little slow. Oops. A good one for bad is awful. Awful. It's extremely bad. We can say something is awful. A couple of extremely good. We have the word wonderful. We also have the word excellent. We also have the word extraordinary, like something that is so good, it's way above average. Extraordinary, that's a fun. Let's see. Oh, here's an idiom. We have out of this world. Oh man, you are all coming up with more than I more than I thought of. Out of this world also means extremely amazing. Here, someone said amazing, perfect, unrivaled. Wow. Wow. Okay, everyone's saying the good ones. How about some bad ones? How about some extreme adjectives for bad? Okay. Make sure my stream is still going here because my page is kind of freezing. Well, I'm going to show you. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one for bad. Egregious. That's like really awful and shocking. Okay, yep. Amazing. We said that one. Good job. Bad, worst. Yeah, worst is like the most bad, right? That's the superlative form. Okay, let me show you all the examples that I had. So for good, I had wonderful, fantastic, marvelous, amazing, terrific, and you all came up with even more examples in the chat. For bad, we have awful, horrible, terrible, dreadful. Yep, I see someone said, a couple of you said terrible, disgusting is very specific, like makes you sick. So we have a lot of great options beyond just saying very good or very bad. We can use these more expressive and more descriptive words. So again, top lesson number 12 is all about extreme adjectives, and there are many more examples in the lesson if you'd like to check it out. Top lesson number 11, following our countdown, was whether we say congratulations on, congratulations for, congratulations to. What's the right preposition to use here? Well, in English, we typically say congratulations on. Congratulations on your promotion. Congratulations on winning the contest. I know in some other languages we say congratulations for, but in English it's always congratulations on. Congratulations on your success. Exactly. And note that if we want to use a verb, congratulations on, we use the ing form. Congratulations on winning the contest. Congratulations on getting the scholarship. And we can say congratulations to if you're not saying it directly to a person, but you're saying it like to a group of people about someone else. So if I'm the manager of a team, I could say, congratulations to Lily, who is the employee of the month. I'm saying that in front of lots of people, not directly to Lily, but I'm giving my congratulations to her. Or congratulations to all our 2025 graduates. May is the month when students graduate from high school or graduate from college in the United States. So we can say congratulations to, and then we have this group of people. We can even combine them by saying something like, let's see, do I have an example? Oh, I don't have an example. Congratulations to Lily on winning the Employee of the Month award, okay? So those are a few examples. There are many more in the lesson linked in the description. Next, in our countdown, top lesson number 10 is a pronunciation lesson all about long and short vowels. And the lesson has 100 words. You can click the link in the description to practice more of them. But I will take you through just an example of each vowel, the long form and the short form, so you can hear the difference. So we have A. We have the long A sound in the word fate. Fate, A. And then the short A is the A sound. So that's fat. Fate, fat. Okay? That's just one example among many of a contrast between the long A and the short A. Long E is the E sound, like in seat. And the short E is like in set. Seat, set. Got it? If you want, you can practice with me as I say these. The long I sound is the I sound, like in bite. And the short I sounds like bit. Bite, bit. Long O is the O sound, like in note. And the short O is the ah sound, like in not. So we have note, not. And finally, long U sound, we have the word boot, Ooh, that's what it sounds like, boot. And the short U sounds like but. Boot, but. So being able to make these small differences in vowels is really important in making sure your pronunciation is nice and clear and we don't confuse some of these words, right? So the lesson on long and short vowels with 100 examples gives you lots more practice. And of course, there's lots more inside my pronunciation course, which I know many of you are a part of. All right, our top lesson number 9, do and make collocations. So in some languages, do and make are actually the same word, or the same word. But in English, we do have this distinction. So the lesson has, I think, 60 or more expressions with do and make, but I just listed a few of the most common here. So we have do the laundry or do the dishes, 2 examples of chores or housework. Do exercise, do homework, do business, do research, and do your best. That's what I always encourage you to do in English, is to do your best. And then for make, we have make a mistake. This is one of the more common mistakes I see. Students sometimes say, I did a mistake, but they need to say, I made a mistake. We make a speech. We also make a comment, make a joke. There are lots of collocations with make and communication words. We make meals. We make breakfast, make lunch, make dinner, make a salad, make a sandwich, make a cup of coffee. We make friends. This describes the beginning of being friends with someone. So we say we make friends. We also make money. It's another way to say earn money or get money from your job or from your work. We say make money. And finally, make progress, okay? There are many more, like someone put in the comments, make efforts. We can say make an effort. That is correct. Let's see. Another question here. What's the difference between give a speech and make a speech? No difference. They are both correct. So some of these, we definitely have more than one correct option. Or with dinner, for example, I could say I made dinner or I cooked dinner. Both are correct. Okay. All right, let's keep going. More examples in the lesson in the description. Our top lesson, number 8, is about direct and indirect questions. So here's an example. A direct question is where we ask it directly with a question word, like, where's the bathroom? And an indirect question, when do we use these? We sometimes use these when we want to be, well, a little more indirect, sometimes a little softer, a little more polite. We could use this if we're asking a bit of a delicate or sensitive question, or if we're asking somebody who we don't know. So we might say, could you tell me where the bathroom is? That's an example of an indirect question. And note, there are a few grammar differences to note. So we do not say, could you tell me where's the bathroom? We don't just add, could you tell me, onto the front of the direct question. We say, could you tell me where the bathroom is? We have is at the end. Another example is a direct question would be, how much does it cost? And indirectly, we could say it like this: I was wondering, or we could also say, I'm wondering. Both are correct. How much it costs. So notice that this is not actually a question. It's more of a statement about your curiosity, but it's considered an indirect question, an indirect way to ask, how much does it cost? And we notice that we don't use does in the indirect question. We just say, I was wondering how much it costs, okay? Another example, what time is it? That's our direct question. If you're asking someone on the street, you might say, do you know what time it is? Notice the little switch of the word order. What time is it? And then, do you know what time it is? So there are lots of these little grammar details, and those are all explained clearly with examples in the lesson, which I think is why many students enjoy these as one of the top 13 lessons from our past 13 years. Moving on to number 7, this is also related to questions, and it has to do with question words and then 100 examples of questions. So obviously I can't go through all 100 examples, but I will give you a quick summary of the question words because these are so important. We use questions in everyday conversation and in daily life all the time. So we use who to ask about people, what, let me give you a quick example for each one. Who to ask about people. Who ate the last slice of pizza? I want to know the person who did it. What to ask about things. What do you love most about Espresso English? I'm asking you about a thing. When to ask about times. When does the bank open? Where to ask about places. Where do you live or where do you work? Why to ask about motives or reasons. Why did you quit your job? Why are you angry? Okay, a couple of just quick examples that I'm just thinking of right here, but many, many more in the lesson. We have how to ask about methods or ways of doing something. Let's see. How do you form the past perfect in English? How can I fix my computer? Asking about a method or a way to do something. Whose asks about possession. Who something belongs to. Whose shoes are these that are laying on the floor? I want to know who they belong to. And then which to ask about a choice. Which one of these lessons is your favorite? I'm offering you a choice. Or we have 3 types of tea. Which one would you like? Finally, a little detail here, grammar detail. We have how many to ask about quantity regarding countable nouns. How many, let me see. How many children do you have? I can count my children, right? And then how much is to ask about amount when it's uncountable. Let's see. How much? How much water do you drink every day? Now, this is a little tricky because we can count water by saying, I drink 8 glasses of water per day or 8 bottles of water per day. But remember, we need to say glasses of water or bottles of water. We don't say 8 waters, right? Because water is uncountable. So how many children? Oh, yeah, here's another good one. How many hours did you put on the project? Or I would say, how many hours did you work on the project? But if we wanted to use the word time, we would say, how much time did you work on the project? Or we could also say, actually, how long would be another way to ask that. But lots more examples of, I think I have 10 or more questions with each of these question words are in the lesson. So if you'd like to see more examples, that's the place to go. Okay, top lesson number 6. This is going to be a quick one, but even native speakers sometimes confuse this. So I needed to make a lesson about this. It's not even a lesson. It's just a very short video about 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. So some countries use 24-hour time, right? After 12 o'clock, it goes 13, 14, 15, and so on. But in the US, we more commonly use this system of a.m. or p.m. And a lot of people have the idea, oh, a.m. is the morning, p.m. is at night. So they think, of course, 12 p.m. must be at night, but no, 12 p.m. is noon or midday. It's a time a lot of people have lunch. It's the middle of the day. And this is what starts our afternoon hours, right? Because if 12 p.m. is noon, then after that we have 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. That is our afternoon. We get through the night, through the evening, through the night. 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and 11 p.m. is very late at night. And then the next one is 12 a.m., which is midnight. That's the middle of the night. And then we have the early morning hours, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., when most of us are still sleeping, right? But a lot of people just get these mixed up, 12 p.m. or 12 a.m., but it's important to know that 12 p.m. is noon. It's the middle of the day. And 12 a.m. is midnight. Got it? All right. Top lesson number 5 is another short video saying Don't say according to me. This is a phrase I sometimes see English learners use, but it doesn't sound natural in English. So we can talk about other people's opinions or other people's experience by saying, according to Jim, the new restaurant is very good. According to my parents, this is the best neighborhood to live. But we don't say it for ourselves. Instead, we can use one of these phrases. We can say, in my opinion, or if it's something you think, or in my experience, if you want to talk about the past experiences you've had. You can say, from my point of view. You can say, personally, I think. You could also say, from my perspective. You could say, as far as I'm concerned. These are all natural sounding options to express your beliefs, your opinions, your experience, but we don't say according to me. It just sounds a little strange. We can say according to anyone else. Number 4 is also a short one. It was a pretty recent one, but it has to do with rude versus polite English. So when you think about being rude, you might think about like swears and insults and stuff like that. But actually, there are some phrases where if we say them in a certain way, they just sound rude in English. And English learners are often not aware of this because it might be perfectly okay to say it that way in your native language. So a couple of examples. Really quick. We can, a couple of other ways to express your opinion. We can say, to me, yep, I think, from my standpoint. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to express it that are not according to me. Okay, so in English, it's, if you go to a restaurant or you go to a coffee shop, don't say I want. I want a hamburger. I want a coffee. It almost sounds like a child name. I want it. Instead, we say I'd like. That's short for I would like. It sounds a little softer. It sounds a little more polite. So anytime you go order something or ask for something, you could say I'd like a hamburger. And then if you want to be extra polite, you could say I'd like a hamburger, please. Now, if you're talking with your friends and you're talking about maybe where you want to go out to eat, you could say, oh, I want a hamburger. Or here's a good one. I'm dying to have a hamburger. That means you really, really, really want it. Or I'm dying for a hamburger. But when you are actually ordering it, another example, this is another eating example, is we tend to try to stay away in English from direct commands like give me the salt. Oopsie. Give me the salt. Or if an example at work would be if you want to talk to your secretary. Hold on. Okay. If you want to talk to your secretary, your assistant, you say, make 10 copies of this report. It sounds like you're in the military and you're giving orders. It doesn't really sound polite. So a better way to say it is, could you please pass the salt? Or could you please make 10 copies of this report? It's softer, it's more polite instead of issuing these orders. This is one I'm working on with my kids right now. If someone is blocking you and you need them to move, don't just say move or can you move. The right way to say it is excuse me. Excuse me, you could even add, could I just get by? Like, could I pass? Or if someone is maybe, let's say they sat down and they're sitting on your jacket, you say, oh, excuse me, you're sitting on my jacket, but don't say, can you move? That sounds rude. Excuse me is polite and it's used for even a lot more situations than just asking someone to move. You can say, excuse me, if you need to interrupt somebody. You say, excuse me, if you've just burped or farted or made some kind of noise. You could say, excuse me, I already said that. If you need to get by, lots of ways to use it, but it's definitely polite. And if someone asks you something, a question that maybe you don't want to answer, like if they ask how much money you make, or if they ask about your divorce or something like that, and you don't want to answer, but if a more polite way to kind of avoid answering a question that is maybe too private is you could say, that's rather personal, or I'd rather not talk about that. Okay. And it expresses, hopefully the other person will also be polite and they won't insist. It expresses that you're not willing to talk about that subject, but none of your business is it expresses the same thing, but it's more rude. Okay, it's ruder, we can say. Okay, our number 3 of our top 13 lessons is one about silent letters from A to Z. So English, as you know, English pronunciation and spelling are a little bit weird, and we have words with silent letters. So the word logically, we don't say logically. The A is silent. We say it more like logically. The word comb, for comb your hair, we don't pronounce the B, we say comb. That's why I put these letters in gray to show that they're silent. They're like ghost letters. The word muscle, we don't say muscle. The C is silent, muscle. And the word sandwich, this might surprise you. We don't really say sandwich. When we say it fast, that D just kind of disappears. So we say it like sandwich, sandwich. Some people might pronounce it a little bit differently. But anyway, in the lesson of silent letters from A to Z, I have lots more examples. Some silent letters you probably know, like the words, like the word no, right? K-N-O-W. We don't pronounce the wrist. We don't, it starts with W, but we don't pronounce it. But English has a number of these, and it's important to know them so that you don't make a strange pronunciation mistake. Lesson number 2 is a big one. If you're looking for something to study this summer, I would definitely recommend this lesson. Oh, good. Some of you are showing some comments. Yeah, right is another great one. We don't pronounce the W. Hour, another good example. We don't pronounce the H. We don't say hour. We say hour. Yeah, there's lots of words with silent letters. Okay, 100 idioms with meanings and examples. So idioms are these little phrases that don't mean literally what they say. They have like a different meaning. So if you want to say, I'm completely paying attention, you could say, I'm all ears. Like your whole body is made up of ears. It means I'm completely paying attention. I'm focused on this. And yeah, I'm all ears is an idiom to say I'm completely paying attention. But if you were to take that idiom and try to translate it word by word, you would be like, what? Ears? Lots of ears? I don't understand. You need to know the meaning of the whole phrase. Okay. Another example is if you say something happened out of the blue, it means totally unexpectedly, without warning. This one comes from, imagine that the sky is clear and blue, no clouds, no rain, and all of a sudden you see a flash of lightning out of the blue sky. That would be really unexpected. So in the same way, we can say that something happened out of the blue if it happened totally unexpectedly. This one comes from sports, probably tennis, and we can say the ball is in your court to mean it's your turn to take action or your turn to make a decision. So in tennis, the two players hit the ball back and forth, and if the ball is in your court, it means it's in your area and you need to hit it. So the ball is in your court. Let's say I am renting out my house, and a lot of people come to see it, and then we pick one person who we want to rent the house and we make them the offer. They need to accept it. They need to sign the contract. So the ball is in their court. They need to make the decision that they actually want to move into my house. Okay. Okay. I have another example. Go the extra mile. This means to put in extra effort beyond what's required or expected. So if there's a project you need to do for work and your boss asks you to prepare a presentation, and most people just do a simple PowerPoint, like mine are very simple PowerPoint presentations. But then let's say you want to go the extra mile and you make a really fancy one with animations and videos and like perfect graphics to illustrate the points of the presentation. Then your boss might say, wow, you really went the extra mile. You put in extra effort. You did something more than just the simple presentation I expected. Okay. So, here's another example of an idiom is saying someone is the black sheep of the family. It means that they are kind of different from the rest of their family and people maybe don't like them or look at them strangely. English has thousands of these. And those of you who are Academy members know that inside of the Academy, there's a course about helping you learn and use 300 more idioms by figuring them out from context and by using them yourself and then getting correction. Is this a synonym with go above and beyond? Yes, go above and beyond is the same thing as go the extra mile, to put in extra effort beyond or above what's expected or required. Good example. English has thousands of these, and this is one reason why movies and native speakers' conversations are often hard to understand because we just use these naturally and we don't think about how they might sound to a non-native speaker. But if you know them, you can already be prepared to understand them and they won't confuse you. And my top lesson, number one, most popular blog post of all time, is alternative answers to thank you. Again, another interaction that we have all the time in daily life. And hold on. Okay, let me just make sure my live stream is still working. You're welcome. But we can also say something like, no problem, or no worries. We can say, don't mention it. That's usually used for something small. If someone opens the door for you and you say, thank you, say, don't mention it. My pleasure means I was happy to help, or it made me happy to help. If someone says thank you, you can say anytime. That means I'm willing to do this for you anytime. It was the least I could do. We usually say this when you did something big, or you did something small in a big situation. So someone's husband died and you brought her a meal. It's just a small gesture. She says thank you, and it's not going to solve all her problems or help completely resolve her grief, but you could say it was the least I could do. It was something small I could do in this big situation. We can say glad to help. That also expresses your happiness. Some people will just say sure, thank you, sure. And we can also say thank you when you also have something to thank the other person for. So if I like to think about a business deal, one business has just made a big purchase from the other business, and the manager of one company says, thank you for your purchase. And the other one says, thank you for such great products. So they're thanking each other. They respond to thank you with thank you. I also have something to thank you for. So that's why I like to say, you've all thanked me for my lessons, and I want to say thank you for being my student. It's really your messages and your emails and your comments that give me the energy and motivation to keep going and keep making these lessons here at Espresso English. And recently I sent out an email, you might have seen it, and several of you have replied asking to tell your story about how Espresso English has helped you. I would love to feature some of those stories in an email next week. So if you haven't yet replied, and I know some of you already have, if you haven't yet replied to that email, give it a look and just send me a few sentences about how Espresso English has helped you, like specific examples. One person said she was able to use English confidently in a meeting. Another person said they were able to use phrasal verbs in daily life. So I love hearing those specific examples of how your life has changed because of Espresso English, especially those of you, anyone, whether you've been following me for just a couple of months or for many years. I just love hearing those stories, and I love sharing them because we are all scattered around the world. We can't all be in a classroom together, but we can celebrate each other's successes. So thank you for being here. Let me just check in with the comments real quick. Thank you. I really appreciate all of your kind words. To the final slide as we just wrap up here. This is the final slide. Okay, so thank you for being my student. Thank you for spending some time with me today. I do want to encourage you to to click on the links to the full lessons for each of the topics that we just ran through really briefly today. And then make sure also to check out the birthday sale, especially if there's a topic you want to dive into over the next 30 days. Like you think, oh man, pronunciation is really a challenge. We have a course for that. Or idioms, I can't stand them. They're so confusing. We have a course for that. Or grammar, we have that as well. And as you know, all of my courses right now are $13 off. And when you join one now, even if you think, oh shoot, I'm not going to have that much time. I know several of you have said, I don't have time to study during the summer. You keep permanent access. So you can listen to the audios over the summer, log in whenever you have time, and come back and study more in September. When you join a course, you do get permanent access. All right. All right. Thank you, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you in the courses, in the academy, and here on my YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook channels. Bye for now.